Hello there, Ray here. We know a lot of crazy things are coming with 1.18, but we actually know very little about what's coming in 1.19. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all the hidden secrets and clues that came out over the last year, including some very subtle ones which are hidden within the Minecraft Live announcement video, which we know will definitely have some 1.19 sneak peeks. So we know 1.18 comes with the new mountain biomes as well as cave types. There's also things that haven't came out yet, but we know are supposed to come with 1.18. This includes more function for the bundles, the famous warden mob with the deep dark biomes and all the blocks that go with it, and of course the goat horn, which is supposed to drop from goats and have future uses. Archaeology is another thing that we know that's not going to be in 1.18, but is going to be in a later version like 1.19. This includes dig sites, which you then sift through to find different artifacts, including pieces of clay pots that have decorations on them and can be reconstructed into a big vessel. Other precious things can also be found at these sites, including potentially diamonds and emeralds. Now there are things that we know are coming out in the future, but they weren't shown in the trailer, such as the combat test experimental snapshots for Java, which there has been a total of 10 of them, and the last one of these combat test snapshots occurred almost one whole year ago, and Jeb, who was the main person working on it, hasn't given any other updates on it. There's a lot of strange things that are coming with this, including like stackable potions and nerfed shields, but you guys can learn all about that by checking out these videos, which I'll have linked down below. The fletching table is the last utility block that doesn't have a function. It used to be both the fletching table and the smithing table, but with 1.16 they gave function to the smithing table, and they said they would give a function to the fletching, but they wanted to do it during an update that made sense. Remember, these utility blocks were made way back in 1.14. So could 1.19 bring a function to it? We know it probably has to do something with arrows and bows. There's also a target block on it, and it looks like maybe a fletching knife on top and a feather. If we learn anything from the other utility blocks, is that these typically are used to make it easier to craft certain specific items, like how looms help you make banners. Maybe a fletching table would help make all the different type of arrows, or maybe it could be used to help you make the correct type of firework rockets so that you get just what you want. Now you can sort of see inside of the fletching table if you spam right click, but it's just a normal crafting table GUI when you do look inside of it. Also in 2018, the vote for a biome didn't make it in there. We're also eventually going to get updated. This included desert with the palm trees, the meerkats, and the wastes, as well as the savanna with the bobads, termites, and ostriches. They also did a similar thing in the 2019 Minecraft Live event, where the mountains, powder snow, and goats won, which we have in the game. The other two options were also supposed to be eventually added in. This included the badlands with the tumbleweeds, the vultures, and a new flowering cactus, and the swamp, which comes with the treasure boat, frogs, and mangrove trees. Now initially I covered the Minecraft Live announcement video at face value, but today we're going to be looking at the smallest details and what they could potentially mean for 1.19. And if last year's Minecraft Live announcement video told us anything, is that some of the most mundane details ended up being in 1.17 and 1.18. So put your thinking caps on as we learn from the past to predict the future. Over in the corner, we can see that there is an Enderman actually holding a barrel. Now, barrels are tile entities, meaning that in the Java edition, they can't be moved by pistons. But maybe this is a reference to 1.19 giving us the ability to move containers with pistons, which is something we couldn't do before. Now, the symbolism of 4 comes up in the trailer quite often. First off, they show a horse with 4 legs. And notice during this transition, there is this chicken that comes into view. But notice he doesn't have 2 legs, but he actually has 4 legs. He has 2 back here and 2 over here. He also still has his wings, but he slowly has his 4 legs transform into 2 legs, and then he walks off. Then they go on to explain the name of this technology. Once again, this technology has the symbolism of 4 being quad. The eye itself in the center here is cut up into 8 pieces. The reference of 4 also comes up again.
4 times more color. 4 times the entertainment.
Or we see 4 parrots and also 4 jukeboxes.
And 4 times more unpredictable.
There is a disclaimer saying that the unpredictability ranges between 0 and 4. There's also 4 barrels in this image. 4 could symbolize the new 4th dimension. In this image here, we can see that there is 4 parrots. They each have a distinct color as well as their background. We know red is like the nether. We know that light yellow is like the end dimension. We know oftentimes the overworld is considered like green. So what is the 4th dimension? It is something blue related. Maybe it is a sky dimension, or maybe it is a very much watery dimension. The reference of Enderman also comes up several times in the video. Quadramorphic Ender Vision, similar to like Enderman. This could be a Ender Pearl or a Eye of Ender, since it does have a slit. This could be a reference to the Eye of Ender and how it's used to find the stronghold and also get into the end dimension. And many of the things that we see that are going to be part of the Deep Dark are also very similar to the end dimension, such as like the end stone coloring and the end portal texture on the blocks. So it could be another way to get Eyes of Ender, or it could be a reference to another portal to take you to a different dimension. The Enderman also pops up right here. You can see him just standing in the background. There's also two Endermen way up here at the top with a bunch of Enderman particles around them. And it looks like they're kind of like the scientists in the background in charge of this. Now the Endermans in these clips could indicate that the new dimension also has Endermen in them, as every dimension in Minecraft has Endermen, being in the overworld, the end dimension, and even more recently the Enderman to the nether dimension. So it would make sense that they somehow are able to teleport themselves and find themselves in the fourth dimension. Another plausible reason for the Enderman is that 1.19 has to do with an update to the end dimension, which is like the main home of where the Endermen are from. They do reference 3 different technologies in this trailer, first being the Quadramorphic Ender Vision, but there's also 3 different mobs that we can choose from. So it's possible that each of these technologies that they're talking about are actually features of each of the 3 mobs. Quadramorphic meaning that it could be a mob that somehow splits into 4 pieces. An Ender Vision meaning that it could be related to Enderman's vision. And if you would spectate a Enderman with spectator mode, this is what it actually looks like. It's quite a strange thing with a lot of the colors being flipped as well as being kind of distorted. And the particles that come off the Enderman also have their colors show up as being green. The second technology they talk about is Pillager Radio Sound, which could be a reference to one of the 3 mobs that we get to vote on. Maybe this one is pillager related or raid related, or maybe it's just going to be sound related in general. And maybe some of these keywords that are underneath of it, such as ultrasonic, mean that's really fast. So it could be a mob that has some fast speed. Bastic, which means you're trying to oversell something or exaggerate it. Also says raid horn duplified. And as we know, right before a raid, we get this noise that comes. One of the things that the goat horn does is that when the player uses a horn, it's like the player blows on it and makes a horn noise as well. So it could be related to the goat horn. It goes on to say unsafe eardrum technology, meaning that it's really loud. It does say redstone approved, so maybe there is some interaction between this mob and redstone components, which could have some exciting potential. Now, because this whole thing is sound related, we know that the warden is also sensitive to sound and noises, so maybe this could somehow interact with it. The third technology they talk about is beacon related. This could represent the 3rd mob that we have an option to vote on. Beacon is an acronym for something, and it looks very much just like a beacon layout with the beacon in the center and a 3x3 worth of precious blocks in order to make it work. So maybe this mob or feature has the ability to somehow boost beacons or some other improvement upon them. These 3 references could also be kind of a reference to each of the current bosses in the world, as we have one boss that's from the end dimension, the Ender Dragon. We have one boss that's kind of from the nether dimension, which has a boss bar that is the Wither, and he also produces the products needed to make a beacon. And we have the 3rd so-called boss, which is the raids, which have a boss bar. These are typically in the overworld. Now there is a phone number down here. The phone number has 1337, which is elite, and also has 404, which is a typical air number. So it's probably just a joke phone number. Now I did call both these phone numbers, but didn't get anything. Now if any of you guys can make out this entire phone number, or any meanings out of this phone number, or the next one down here, which is 023444568, tell me in the comments if you think there's any reference to that.
Now, we bring you...
The chicken also shows up in this scene over here. He's up in the top left-hand corner. The chicken also appears in this scene where he steps on the pressure plate.
Radio sound.
The chicken also appears in this part of the film.
Never be the same.
And continues into the next one. In this scene, we can see the chicken is being chased by the Enderman, as if the chicken got into a secure location that he's not supposed to be in, and the Enderman is kind of like the security person, and he's trying to chase down the chicken to catch it. And it ends with both the Enderman and the chicken, with the Enderman trying to catch it. Last year, the main character in the trailer video was this baby zombie. And in this year's, it is the chicken. Last year, that character wasn't really important in 1.17 or 1.18. Just as I think that this chicken isn't really that important, but everything else in the background is. It also says, at selected events, only used with sanctioned equipment. Meaning that it's like somehow secured, and we do see the chicken like running about through the entire event and being chased by the Enderman, which gives a sense of it being like top secret. Now, the whole background of this entire trailer is kind of futuristic with the silvers and the grays and the very metallic feel. You can also see that there's not very many colors in this, and there's often a door in the background. So it almost feels like it's kind of like futuristic space travel. Maybe the new dimension is like going to the moon or like a planet-like dimension. This also could just be a reference to like studios, which are like big, huge warehouse buildings where they record most movies. And you can see in the background of this one, there's a 5 over here and like a 6 over here. So this would be like stage 5, and this would be like stage 6. But also the theme of wood kind of comes up as it takes wood to make jukeboxes. We also have barrels which are made out of wood. This sound stage here has a lot of wood or brown. The pressure plates in this scene here are all made of wood with the barrels behind it. But this whole technology theme can actually be a sneak peek into a secret project that Minecraft has been actually working on with this company here, which is called Andine. This was a tip-off by a viewer of mine almost a year ago. And this technology is called Aether Engine. It's not related to the Aether Dimension mod. And actually one of the Mojang developers actually used this to get over 1,000 players all on a single server all at once. Andine also has this post here that talks about how Minecraft adapts their Aether engine for new gaming experience. Now the technology that they talk about here goes over my head, but there are some pretty impressive things that this technology can do. And you can see that this company is actually working closely with Minecraft. Right here they say, we're excited to be working with Mojang Studios as they continue to explore new possibilities with the Aether engine. There's also this article here going into potential uses that this engine could provide. It talks about how this new engine will integrate, allowing Mojang to breach previous technical ceilings. Remember, Minecraft is coded on Java, and it's really bad spaghetti code from years and years and years of stuff being added on top of each other. The game wasn't designed to last this long, or to have so many different add-ons put into the code. And it says this will open up a host of new design opportunities. But so far, it seems like a lot of this engine has to do around multiplayer and how it handles connections. This last point is pretty fascinating, saying that Mojang has so far been tight-lipped on precise changes and new game modes that will come to Minecraft as a result of this new partnership. So we should see some exciting changes when this is added. I'll have these articles linked below. If you guys do understand this technology really well, let me know more about this in the comments. So this potential new scalable game modes that could come to Minecraft could mean that we could see thousands of players all on a single player. So we could actually have like an in-game Minecraft live event. Tell me in the comments what you guys think about these potential 1.19 features. Check out this playlist here to learn more about what's all in 1.18, and check out this playlist over here to see cool tricks and tips I discovered over the 12 years of playing this game. I would like to thank all you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!